Today I'll be showing you how to replace the wheels on your Sidewinder. Let's get started.
Loosen the 4 gears that are on each corner of the bed plate. This will allow the bed plate to be taken off of the chassis. When the bed plate was free, I simply rested it against the back wall behind it. Be careful because the main power cable running into it from the 3D printer is pretty tight and you don't want to damage it. The 2 screws that hold the belt tensioned are removed. The belt is then removed from the back pulley, allowing the chassis to slide off of the main rails. Upon closer inspection of the wheels, you can clearly see that these have been worn down over time and they've been needing to be replaced. So the first step on taking these wheels off is I use a socket. The socket stays onto the nut on the back and then I use an Allen wrench to hold it in place on the front. The nut is loosened off the back, which then frees the wheel from the main chassis. So a quick tip, when you take anything apart, make sure that you put it back on in the order it was taken off, such as the spacers on the screw or even the little tiny spacers between the bearing and the nut. Before you put the wheels on that you ordered, make sure that they are exactly the same as the factory wheels that are put onto the machine. Once everything checked out, I went ahead and put the new wheel on and mounted it back onto the chassis. When the new wheel was mounted, I made sure that it was still able to spin, however there was no wiggle coming from the screw. I then used a faster method of swapping the other 2 wheels, as you can see. I then followed the same steps with removing the wheels and replacing them on the other side. But I do have to admit, it's way easier to just drag and drop these wheels on. Once you're confident that the wheels are tightened down and aligned properly, we can then put this back onto the 3D printer. I found it was easier to put the belt back into the rails by aligning it first with the pulley on the back and then feeding it into the rail and then taking it back off the pulley so you can slide the main chassis onto the rails. The rail end stop can then be pulled, tightened, and mounted back onto the main rail. I tightened the middle one down and then pulled tension onto it while screwing in the right side screw. The bed plate then needed to be put back on. I tilted the bed plate back, put the springs onto the screws that need to be screwed on, and then I tilted it forward to align all 4 screws into the chassis. I then screwed the gears back on by pushing pressure all the way down onto the bed plate, which pushed the screw down to the gear and then spun the gear on. I did this on all 4 corners. Just remember that you'll still need to level your bed before you can start printing.
I hope you guys enjoyed this video and it helped you out a lot. Personally, replacing those wheels made a big difference for my print quality. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comments section below. Other than that, all the product information can be found in the description, and I'll see you guys next time. Take it easy.